Hey guys, it's Brian with my review of the Runequest role-playing in Glorantha Manuscript I got at Gen Con. Um, I figured if I actually move back a bit, I can keep the glare off my glasses. So we'll give this a try instead of staring over my glasses at you all the time. Okay, well, this section is on skills, and this will be a fairly short one. Again, they start off again, base chance. Everything's got a base chance, sometimes a 0, but every skill's got a base chance. But they bring up the point of who gets to roll for success with the skill. And generally, you want your players to roll. And we do, because we all love rolling dice, we know what we're doing. But they give a couple of examples, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with these kinds of things, on where if they're rolling, they shouldn't know if they fail. For example, if they're listening around a corner to see if there's somebody on the other side, or if they're doing a lore skill to try to remember something, and if they fumble that and they remember something wrong, they're going to know that they remember that wrong, and there's too much metagaming going on. So yeah, I can see those kinds of things. I've actually got a dice tray, so my thought is you can still roll the dice, roll it in my tray, and I bring the tray back so I get to see what the number really is and ask you what your value is and that kind of thing. So you still roll the dice, but I read what it is. I'm thinking about doing that kind of thing myself. When you talk about modifying skill rolls, there's generic modifiers for things that happen. You know, some things are easy, some things are hard due to situations, environment, whatever. And then they talk again about augmenting your skill using, either another skill or passion or rune. And then they go through the whole skill description piece. A couple things to put on this: dodge and jump are a little bit different. They're based strictly on dex times 2 and dex times 3, instead of some valued number. Another thing I've got a problem with is shields. You have small shields, medium shields, and large shields. They all have a baseline of 15. I can tell you, it's much easier to block with a large shield than it is with a small one. So I know Runequest 2 handled differently. I want to say it was like 5, 10, 15. I don't know, maybe they're trying to be simple, and it can be hard. If you've got a nice, we're talking small shield, we're talking buckler stuff, it can be hard. It can be real hard. And I've seen some guys that are good with that and do plenty well. But yeah, not me. I've actually got a large shield that I've used. And they go skill by skill, category by category, complete description of the skill and stuff about it. A couple of things I did want to bring up was speaking languages. This kind of threw me for a loop, and I think they actually have a complete misprint in here on this one. The way I have previously used, I'm still going to take my classes when I talk. Previously used language skills. You're trying to communicate with somebody else. Generally, if it's your own language, you're at 50%. Two people, 50%, that's 100%. That's communication. Is there a chance for some kind of miscommunication there? Yeah, you roll if it's a 96 or above, then there's some kind of miscommunication. You only need to roll once because you're both talking together, right? And they mentioned in there if both people are 50% or higher, you don't need to worry about it. They're communicating. There's not going to be any misunderstandings. But then they start talking about if either of them have less than 50% in the language skill. You take the lesser percentage, and the example they give is 30%. Somebody has a 30% skill. So there's a chance of a miscommunication. So you take his percentage, which is 30, you double it, which is 60, and that's the percent chance that there is a miscommunication. That's what it states. Throw some numbers at you. We're both at 49. We are 2% from having no miscommunication at all, and we now have a 96% chance of a miscommunication, because 49 times 2 is 96. No, 98. 98% chance. But if I've only got a 5% in that language skill, there's only a 10% chance of miscommunication. Yeah, there is a misprint in that. It might be that there's double the lower for having your communication not misunderstood. I could buy off on that. I still like the whole idea of take the two skills, put them together, roll. But that's me. Okay. They also give you a language list of all the languages in Dragon Pass. And along with that, they have an equivalency chart for similar languages. And that makes sense to me. What I would do just generically myself is just, if it's similar, cut it in half. Real simple kind of thing. But they actually have equivalencies for half skill, 1/5 skill, and 1/10 skill. And they've got all the languages, populated there. If you know this language, you know these other ones at these percentages kind of thing, which is handy. And then they go back and then go further on with a listing of magical and non-human languages, what those are and what they're for. Alchemy. Alchemy in Runequest 2, you can make healing potion kind of stuff, healing spell stuff. Yeah, no problems. You make poisons, you make antidotes, that kind of stuff. There's something else? Yeah. But in Runequest 2, you used to be able to actually make a potion that would duplicate a spirit magic spell, assuming you knew that spirit magic spell and that you had all the ingredients and that kind of thing. They don't have that in Glorantha. And they have this skill called Battle. It's another new one. There's a bunch of new stuff. I'm not going to worry about too much about getting in depth in all of them, but a couple of them that caught my attention was the Battle skill, because we use this Battle skill in the Quick Start to determine if this ruins is a decent fortification, that kind of thing. So, but they specifically have in there, when you go and you use the Battle skill to help simulate battle combat as well. And so you make your roll. If it's high, you did great. You get to get skill checks on weapons. You get some renown, and you get a battle skill bonus check. You get a battle skill bonus check no matter what you roll. Critical success, special success, normal success, failure, fumble. Doesn't matter what you do, you get a battle skill roll. Maybe they're doing that because you don't really get involved with making battle skill rolls very often. I don't know. But that seems somewhat disingenuous is not the right word. Disconnected with every other skill in skill check rolls. They have read and write with a list of all the scripts that you find for the languages in Dragon Pass. And they have the meditate skill, which you can use to increase your magic point recovery. You can also use it as an optional rule to reset a missed intelligence check roll, which I thought was interesting. And you can also use it as a skill to augment magic, knowledge, and communication skills. That's pretty cool. Then there's the worship deity skill. This will be the last one I talk about. And they talk about sacrifices. And finally, you got something that talks about sacrifices. Both animate and inanimate, animals and plants and items of value, that kind of stuff. And your own magic points, because you have to sacrifice your magic points, on holy days anyway. But other stuff happens. You get an increase in your worship skill if you sacrifice more magic points, and you get bonuses to your worship deity's skill roll if you sacrifice different kinds of plants and animals. It's based on size for those kinds of things. A rabbit is so much, a bull or ox is something else. And then if you sacrifice, an item of value, obviously the more value it has, the more bonus it's worth. And then they have a couple little, text or box text about sacred times and sacred places, and how each of those will also give you modifiers. And this is something that I've used in my other games. Sacred times and places only, instead of being a bonus for worship, it's generally a magic point modifier. For example, in certain places, you can cast a 1-point spell and it won't cost you anything because of the place you are. Well, that's it for skills with Runequest, role-playing in Glorantha. I've got more to come. Ciao.